Hey YouTube, we are back with another video covering Dark. I think a lot of people have been wondering where Dark has been. And last time we checked on him, he was trying to push the edges of what dashes could possibly do. And if you've been watching this first 10 seconds, you'll see that that hasn't changed. Dark very clearly trying to show us what the future might look like if you were to be able to chain as many dashes together as he does. I mean, before he was showing us what the future looked like with his pogos. Now he's doing it in more and more ways. Dark, I think, took a little bit of break from the game. At least he stopped streaming for a bit. A lot of people will ask where he's at, understandably, because he's such an exciting player to watch. And he has been going live again recently and maybe grinding up in some ones. We might get to see a little more Dark. I think these games are played at around 1400 MMR, which I do think is SSL, but it's around, you know, the 1500s or 1550s that you get into that top 100 type gameplay. But we're definitely on for a roller coaster ride watching Dark in these ranked games. He is just trying to dash and stay 100% speed at all times right now. A lot of ball cam toggling as well. That's just all part of it when you're watching one of the more interesting guys in the game play 1v1. I think a lot of people are excited to see Dark back because he's shown the limits to which, you know, his insanity can go. Just because he's had some recent struggles in show matches, he's had very high peaks in his games. And here's a good example as he gets scored on for the first time in this replay, is just getting a little overexcited. He's almost like a mix between a freestyler and a competitive player with, you know, a much more competitive stint than, you know, most freestylers. A lot of freestylers out there are focused on just the shot. He's like only 10% freestyler, but still it's enough to make his antics crazy. This time he's going to go for a catch. Actually, delayed shot. It's a pretty smart shot there. Getting around the left side of the ball, threatening, getting King up in the air, and then just going for the soft shot, basically a complete fake. Ball to air dribble. We know we're, of course, hoping for some sort of pogo. Dark also loves getting as many resets as possible. Nice bump on King. Look at these dashes. I mean, this is just... I think that there's a world in which we'll see players... I mean, we talked about the pogoing that he used to do in the past and how the world of 1v1 has definitely picked up on it, but not in the way that we maybe thought. He does these pogos behind the ball and, you know, follows them up to get his eventual play. Pogos have added into the one scene, but all pogo shots, almost exclusively pogo shots. The occasional pogo, the way Dark does it, is used in ones at the highest level. Nice smooth catch. But he definitely added pogo shots and got the whole competitive world looking to see how much they could integrate pogos when they weren't thinking about it before. And, you know, obviously Zapatos is one of those early guys to do it with dashes, but I think Dark right now is trying to give an exhibition on just how far it can go and whether or not we're going to be watching one day just a bunch of players constantly dashing around the field. I mean, that just might become second nature for all we know. King wanted to pre-jump this one. Oh my goodness. It's like a pogo backflip flick. It's saucy. It's saucy is what it is. And a 6-2 lead for Dark. I think I was informed that he was apparently streaming these games live, or at least this game that we're watching. We have 2 games that we pulled out from him played recently, and I do recommend checking him out. I think it's RL Dark 1 on Twitch. Dark going the full distance. This is that classic pogo behind the ball. King goes up to 50. It's not going to matter yet. King reacting a little bit too late. Those are the ones that really popped off and brought Dark onto the scene. And I think a lot of people, you know, quickly workshopped how best to challenge them. That's what made them tough to continue going with them. But I do think they're still viable as Dark tries to dash his way on 0 boost back to this play and does get scored on. So a couple different times that he's been scored on, it has been from overshooting on his dashes. But that's what the Pioneers do for us. They take the risks so that everybody else can learn when it works. Dark, no way he's going to get enough resets to bring this back. Oh my goodness, Dark. That was a dribble setup to basically go the wrong way. That was an air dribble setup at his own net that he turned all the way back around with resets. I thought no way was he going to be able to get it there in the air. Look at these dashes. Oh my goodness, that shot is maybe just as crucial as all the other ones, because we're looking for like these spaces where moves that he's making are very easily translatable to, you know, everybody in the top game. Hitting that many resets and taking that kind of shot. It's a bit slow on the previous one, but that wave dash to power shot is the kind of stuff we'll be seeing everywhere once everybody gets those wall dashes comfortable, because it is so useful to be able to get that kind of surprising power. But he does get scored on again, so 9-4. He's comfortable now with 1:22 left to go. Hard to say. Oh, that's a new kickoff. Dude, we have to just check back in on Dark. We have to check back in on Dark after, you know, a month or so to see what he's found for us next. This kickoff didn't necessarily work, but I like it. I mean, you normally see those half-flip kickoffs that get canceled. It was kind of like that, just a 180 kickoff. He went fully reverse, but right side up into the kickoff. And who knows? There could be tons of stuff you could maybe do from there. I think you had to stall his flip to get there. I don't know. I'm still talking about it. He hasn't even had possession the whole time. With Dark going down. Or sorry, I shouldn't say going down, but getting scored on again. As the scoreline gets ever closer, there's, you know, of course, that classic dash. He's doing it diagonal. That's the way AJ likes to do it too. You'll see AJ doing a ton of those, especially have kickoff recoveries like that to the back corner. Little diagonal wave dash. A little different from the way Zapatos does them regularly. I think Jack also, I don't see you doing the diagonal one too much. Mostly just that front flip dash. Dark. What do we have in store? Always a treat when we can see a full field air dribble starting up. It is going to be, oh, interesting, a pogo, and not the pogo shot like we normally see, but he actually cut the bounce off early and backflips it in for 10-6. There are those dashes back into the corner, and he gets a much quicker possession because of it. Normally, taking those balls into the corner off the kickoff can be a really slow process. Another pogo. I mean, how many pogos is he going to score? I didn't even know. You know, somebody pointed me towards this replay, said it was a good one to check out, and obviously it was. Tons of great shots, many pogos, but honestly, one of the best shots was that power shot over here from the back corner, just the wall dash into strong shot. Just shows what you can do with those. But let's go check out one more game of Dark. Game number 2 for Dark. What do we have in store now? A direct kickoff win. He's trying to use that extra dashing to get a bump, and then that ton of wall dashing to try and score. Both the margins a bit too close. Free jumping Kahlua, and this should be a pretty free double. What was that bounce? I'm going to assume that was some slight lag from Dark being on EU servers, because that bounce didn't make sense to me. Dark can give a lot of space off of that first kickoff. I'd love to see what it looks like when he tries to attack the ball off those possessions, try and put pressure on Kahlua using the dashes instead of just always playing them back into his corner. I think it's one of the things that the high boost aerial type players want to do. Here's that same exact shot again that we just talked about, and oh, it's just posting out. But with zero boost, no better time to show how useful it can be when you get that strong of a shot. Lewis setting up a flick. Dark. Easy in and out recovery. Certainly he didn't miss this open net, right? No, he did! He did miss it. Oh my goodness, Dark. He says that's too boring. I don't want the open nets. No ground double, but Kahlua moved for it on the fake. And then can Dark actually get back on this one? Almost no boost to work with. Oh, we tried to go for the demo. Not a terrible decision. I mean, he could have made a play on the ball, but a big bump, probably a bump or demo, would have resulted in a better possession than just playing for the ball. So I don't hate what he went for there. Now Dark reset scoop. Couldn't get enough power. Recovery in and out of the nets. I like this aggression. I want to see what, you know, Dark's crazy speed can translate into when he really puts pressure on the opponent, because I think that's probably, you know, the tactic or the style that works best in the top ones game right now. Can't really afford to be too passive. Dark Going to go the whole distance of the field. And he kind of needed to bail on that one. I think towards that last flip, it was pretty clear that he was not going to be able to score. And it's better to just play those possessions than try and milk them out. So that's a good catch by Kahlua. Great recovery from Dark, but another passive play. Free jumping away. I wonder if there's a world where he could maybe power slide, stay a little bit more aggressive, try and attack the ball. Down 1-2. This is his classic kickoff sequence when he loses. Wants to dash back into that corner. Missed the 100 here, but Kahlua couldn't find anything. Dark doesn't seem to need boost anyways, the way he's liking to play. Tap out to the midfield. Caught Kahlua out of position. Had himself a tie game halfway through. Dark, not the best 50. Kahlua, though, couldn't keep the ball in control. And it is going to be a free open net. I think I saw Dark previously trying to use those 360s or 180 wave dashes that you can get. I think everybody who's played a lot of Rocket League has probably done one on accident here or there where you miss your wave dash and your car zips around perfect 180 really quick. And, it's clear once people try and control those, why not? There might be, useful situations where you can turn around instantly. And I think Dark has tried to use them at least a couple times. I mean, we saw him, I think, doing one right there, just kind of a celebratory to tap in his open net, but he was doing one in the previous game as a way to reposition quickly. Just got to reset off of Kahlua. Oh my goodness, look at that challenge from Dark. That is, the little sparks you can see of when everything connects on those dashes. By no means should he have been able to stay in that play. Oh, that's just great speed. In and out of the nets. The long shot for the fourth. 4-2. With a minute 23, fake kickoff. One of the guys who's the best at it. Kahlua does fall for it. Hook, line, and seeker. It's a full field dribble, and he looks to try and go top left. He thought he saw Kahlua protecting that right side of the net, and if he just gave it extra speed and power to the top left, that it'd be good enough. It was definitely not a shot that he was protecting in any way or expecting to be able to, recover from. I think he just thought he saw some open net. Couldn't get it, getting bumped here. Of course, instantly dashing back down, as if that was his plan all along. Dark pass it to himself off the midfield. This is just costing a ton of boost, though. That's what feels like isn't really viable here. Yeah, and he does end up getting scored on. You see these players doing things different than other people, and you have to wonder why. To think what's in store. What are they thinking of there when Dark was spamming as much boost as he was, as he tried to corral out of the orange half. I'm like, man, this is just a ton of boost, a ton of speed. Will he make it work? He did not. The answer is he did not. But there's already, a ton of occasions that we've seen Dark has found new stuff that's worked. People should be checking him out to see what he's discovering. Fake 50 here. Now he's got himself an open nets. Both of them tried to play it a bit passive, expecting the other to tap it into him, but the result is that Dark has a better look on the ball afterwards, so he's got himself a 5-4 lead. 3 seconds left to go. He's going to chain dashes back for what could be the final save, and yes, he taps it to the ground. So Dark, man, as interesting as ever. It's been a bit since we went back and looked at his gameplay, and he is back playing the game. I think he might have taken a slight break, or at least a slight break from streaming. And I tell you what, he's as unique as he always was. I just can't wait for him to be right back at the top of ones.